Hi guys, and welcome to another vlog. A non-eventing vlog, which are my hardest ones to film because I'm like, why would you want to watch me just doing me? But we're gonna do it, and yeah, let me know if you enjoy it, and if you do, let me know if you want to see or what you like to see, because I do watch vlogs. I watch people doing all sorts, from like cleaning out their tack rooms to lessons to eventing to hacking to like all sorts. Whilst I work, I quite often have a vlog on. So yeah, today I'm going to do like a little catch up vlog. So like, appreciate that you probably don't all follow me on Instagram, which is where I do most of my like updates and kind of what's going on in my horsey life. So if you don't follow me over there, then you won't know what's going on really. I still have Nellie. She's still here. She's gorgeous. She's going to feature in today's vlog. A little bit of like a Nellie kind of update. Charlie update. So Charlie is currently on a 6-week break. Well, 5 weeks off, and then back to gentle hacking for a few weeks, and then back to work. So he's currently coming to the end of week 2 off. So he's basically off until the end of October, and then back to hacking, and then back to some fun stuff. Hopefully by the sort of like nearer, like halfway through, near the end of November, depending on how he goes. I hate giving them breaks. I hate it, but I know how good it is for them. So it's got to be done. I only hate it because I miss riding them, and I'm not the biggest fan of hacking. And I appreciate that's a really important part of bringing them back into work. It's like slowly getting them back into the routine and physically ready to do harder work, etc. So that's the little Charlie update. Hattie has one more event. I did enter Bicton 3-day, and I am hoping to vlog it, although I'm already scared about like how busy it will be, but hopefully I'll be brave enough. Someone did say on one of my last videos that I need to share more, and I did reply to saying like, oh, I'm like a little bit scared still of sharing everything, just because it opens yourself up to like hate. And then she did reply, and she was like, well, if you want to grow then you have to. And like, as much as I take all the comments with a pinch of salt, she isn't wrong. So hopefully I will be brave enough to bring you along and kind of take you as like a first time 3-day event point of view, experience, etc. And so that's not till the end of October, so there's like 3.5 weeks left till then. So she's still very much in work, really trying to stay hot on her fitness, because the 3rd day, I won't get into it too much now because I don't really know much about it, but there's roads and tracks and steeplechase on the cross-country day, so it's a big day for them. So I appreciate she needs to keep her fitness up for that. Don't you, baby girl? They're all very snoozy at the moment. And then, who else have we got? We got Wall. He isn't doing a lot at the moment, I have to be honest. We're struggling to keep him sound in his body without loads of invasive treatment. So yeah, it was kind of one of the reasons I bought Nellie, was to give Walls a little job, bless him. Like, he can go out and quietly hack, etc. But he already has had a few joint injections and he's still not 100%. And as difficult as it is, I feel like you do sometimes just have to accept that they're getting old, eh boy? So that's where he's at. I don't really know enough about it to share with you. We're still very much just kind of like finding our feet, finding out what he can do comfortably without spending a fortune, because sadly I haven't got a fortune. And yeah, he comes first, obviously. It's not, I don't want to just like fill him with drugs just to suit me. You know, if he's done, he's done. Physically, mentally, he's not done. And then there's Mans. Hey boy. We're also kind of going through the motions with him a little bit at the moment. We were kind of struggling a little bit with his soundness, but we're trying different shoes. We've had x-rays, so there isn't actually anything wrong. So we're thinking he just needs some pads in perhaps, and he's actually quite comfortable at the moment, so that's where we're at with him. The plan was to sell him, but obviously I'm not going to sell a lame horse or a problem horse, so we wanted to get to the bottom of that, and I don't want to sell him, I just can't keep them all. But I love to try to keep them all, clearly. You want to come say hi, boy? And yeah, it's probably oversharing. I get a bit scared. As you know, I don't know how many times I say this. Sharing things that I'm not like either decided on myself yet, or like even with nails, I kept her a secret for like a month, because I was like, oh, I just need to get my head around sort of what I've done before I tell the world. Oh yeah, and she's here. I didn't give you a massive nails update, but she's here. Her passport is still in Ireland. I sent it back to get the name changed, and her name changed. It's taking a while, because on her passport she was called Chanel, and that's not nothing against horses called Chanel. If any of you have got a horse called Chanel, that's absolutely fine, but it's not a bit of me. So that's why she's Nelly. She's Chanelly, aka Nelly. So I wanted to change that. I'm not that superstitious, so don't come at me if you are superstitious about changing their names. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Oh yeah, in this vlog today, all I'm going to mostly do is I train all my horses to sidle up to objects so I can get on, all thanks to Wall actually, because he's a big boy, and yeah, so right from the start with him I trained him to sidle up to anything, and now I've trained them all to do exactly the same because it makes my life so much easier. Delicious. And though Nels isn't going to be sat on yet, I am kind of doing the basics of groundwork with her. Again, I haven't filmed loads just because I'm a little bit nervous about what's the right way of saying it? As in, like, I just don't want people to like necessarily be. I don't know. Inspired isn't the right word, because I don't mind, like, without being big-headed, I don't mind inspiring people. But I just don't want it to be like, this is how you do it. Because to be honest, I'm finding my own way through how I do what I do. With outside help where I can, certainly with like the riding. But with like the breaking and the groundwork, I am kind of, I'm no pro. I do it for fun, and I don't want it to be like, this is how I did it, because I don't know if that's the right way to do it. It just might be the way that worked for me, which is very much going to be the theme to today's vlog too, where I train her to sidle up to the mountain block. It's very much a case of, this is how I do it. You can try do it how I do it, Wally. Or you can not. That's fine too. This isn't a how-to. This is just an update and like a little bit of content, because it is kind of what I'm up to with her at the moment, and it'd be very real and very raw, and yeah, just a little insight into Ellahorses and what Ellahorses is up to with Nelly, because lots of people wanted Nelly updates, and I say I'm a bit nervous to bring you like the long reining and the other bits, because I'm like, oh, I don't know, this is how you should do it, this is just how I do it, and I don't want to be misinforming people on how to do anything. But let me know your thoughts on that. Maybe you're like, just stick it up, we'll decide for ourselves if we want to do it like that or not. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to catch this lot, bring them in. I'm going for a little hack with Liv this morning. Hey Nelly Bean, talking about you. Here she is. She's looking really scruffy at the moment too. She's gone from being like, honestly, in a week, most of them have. Hats are still got a gorgeous coat. Charlie Boy is like a woolly bear. Wall's coat's pretty good. But yeah, Manny, the three ponies basically, the 3 15-handers. Manny, Charlie and Nelly have got hellish coats on them. Just gave myself a big splinter. Right, I'll let this go because multitasking is not my thing, and I'll see you in a little bit, hopefully with Nelly Bells. I'm angry at my help. My free help, yeah.
Was 5 minutes late.
My free help was over 10 minutes late, actually. He was like, how long have I got? And I said 15 minutes, thinking that was more time than I needed, but then I wouldn't be late. And it's been nearly 30 minutes.
No, it's late.
I'm not late. I've been so patient. Anyway, it's now the complete other end of the day, guys. Complete other end of the day. My whole day got flipped, turned upside down. Other things happened. Things didn't happen that were meant to happen. Anyway, we're here. Hattie's super duper excited to show you her little trick. Basically, a few of you asked to see me working with Nelly, and like I said earlier, I'm a little bit scared to show like any of the backing process because I don't really know what I'm doing. Even though it works for me, I don't want to necessarily portray that's how it's done, if that makes sense, because I don't fully know. My phone is ringing now. But what I will show you a little bit of today is me just playing with her. So what I teach all my horses to do is just sidle up to the mountain block, because Wally started it because he's quite a big horse, and I can get on from the ground, but obviously it's not very good for them, and because of his size I just thought I would teach him to sidle up to things like gates and rocks and mountain blocks and all sorts. So I teach them all that, mostly when they first come, because it's like a bonding thing as much as anything. I call it bum bum. So I just thought I would show you, like with hats, what it is that we are aiming for with Nelly. I am kind of tempted to show you all the horses. So basically when I stand on something, they should, as Hattie just has, like a good girl that she is, turn so that I can get on. And then they are supposed to stand here for as long as I need them to. Generally, when I'm training them, I do just give them scratchies, because then it's nice, isn't it? It's nice. I do have like a carrot stick, but I'm going to use a schooling whip today, just because if anyone did fancy trying to teach their horse the same thing, then I kind of figured this was the sort of thing people would have. But we'll make sure that they're not scared of it. It is like a nice tool. It's just an extension of your arm, as they say. So yeah, whatever I walk up to, could try the fence. This could be a disaster, but we could try. They should sidle up to as if I needed to get on. Good girl. She's been the perfect example. Oh yeah, okay. Probably because she's really into the idea of a bum scratch. But yeah, they all do this. It's lovely. Shall I show them all doing it or not? I'm asking Timmy. Timmy says no. No, basically they all do this. Okay, good girl, Hats. Sterling job, sweetheart. Sorry I made you jump. I'm not actually getting on you. Then we're going to try teaching to Nelly. Nelly, who's currently just been feral and wandering around. But I'll let Hattie go and I will catch Chanel's, and then we'll see how we get on. Okie dokie. Say hello, Nelly Bean. When I did her intro video, I'm not sure when it was now, she still had the most lovely summer coat, and it is honestly, in the last 10 days, just disappeared, and she's turned into an absolute little fluff ball. But anyway, so Nelly Bean, what you do first, she has done a fair bit of groundwork already, where I've just taught her to move out of my space, move left and right, pointing and that sort of thing. And she has done a little bit of work with a stick, so she's not scared of it. She doesn't think it's a whip. She already knows it's a tool. Good girl. Which I do think is kind of fairly important. They need to be fairly okay with it to start with, because you don't want them scared thinking you're going to whip them. And then the first thing you have to do is basically teach them to move away from the pressure of the stick with as light a touch as possible. So, for example, I'm just going to tap her on the side, and hopefully she'll move her bum away. Good girl. Good girl. Just like that. Just like that. We're going to do it from this side. You have to do it both sides, because obviously you're going to, even though we do loads from the left with horses, I'm an absolute sod for doing loads with the left of the horse. Obviously, preferably, you want to teach them eventually to sidle up either way, because they might be in a situation where you can't get on from the left. But also, it's just good practice to do things on both sides. So then we'll do the same this side, starting off with this really, really, really light little taps. Hopefully, so she's not to go forwards, or I don't reward her for going forwards. You don't stop tapping until she steps away, if that makes sense. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Make sure she's not just getting uncomfortable with me in this area. You don't want it to be scary, you just want it to be bonding, like I said before. Again, I will just little taps, nice and light. And I say we won't praise her for going forward. She has to step to the side. If she doesn't respond to the really tight, light taps, just up it a little bit. I can't reward that, it's backwards. I can reward that stepping to the side. Good girl. And by reward, I just mean I just stop asking the question. Good girl. She is quite a sensitive horse. She's super calm. She's really quiet. She's got a lovely temperament, but she's quite reactive to things. So like quite often she won't give you a little something. She'll give you like a big answer. So it's kind of trying to teach her as well, which was something we will work on going forwards, trying to teach her that it's okay to give like small movements. And I think that will come naturally as well. The more comfortable she becomes with me, and more desensitized she gets to everything, she'll probably start offering me less naturally, because they often tend to, and then I'll be able to reward that small movement, and hopefully she will learn that she doesn't have to do everything quite so extra. So you can't see, but I'm doing the same little taps. Good girl. I'd say that was a little bit quicker. Nice little step away. You good girl. Good girl. We don't just go straight in with the taps, because we don't want her to assume that every time I come into this area of her body that I want her to move her bum away, because I might be picking up her foot, I might be going to brush her tail, etc, etc. So you kind of come into that space, you can come back out of the space if you want to. Don't have them assuming what you're going to do. And then once you're kind of comfortable that she's happy stood, then I would go again. Little taps. Good girl. Still tapping because she's not giving me what I want, which is the step to the side. Still tapping. A little bit harder. I might start adding a click. Making it a little bit harder. Good girl. That's what we wanted all along, you clever bean. Yeah, she's chill. You can see, like, I am tapping her, but I'm only using my fingers to move the stick. I'm not, like, really whipping her. And you can kind of tell from her general mood, she's not stressed by this. She's not scared. Same as I said on the other side, make sure that she'll let me into this space. I'm going to stay in this space until she stops moving, like she has already. But yeah, that's something I really want to reiterate. You don't just keep asking, you have to make it an obvious difference between wanting them to move and not wanting them to move, not asking them to move, because you have to be so black and white with horses and dogs. Probably all animals, to be honest, but I've only ever tried training horses and dogs. You can't compromise. You can't just compromise 1 minute and then expect them to understand what you mean when you actually ask the question. I feel like I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but I feel like there's a few little things, as much as I'm not necessarily filming an instruction video, this is just me playing with Nelly. I'm trying to talk through what I'm thinking and why I'm doing what I'm doing when I'm doing it, if that makes sense. So, pretty happy that she's allowed me in this space. She's not moved away, she's pretty chill. And now I'm just going to slowly start tapping, upping the pressure if she doesn't respond immediately. Good girl. Also, another thing I've just thought that I didn't really explain before is I'm using this area to tap, because I feel like that's the easiest area to tap when you are on the mountain block. Plus, I also feel like anything in this area really is a little bit more of a move forwards command. And I say, like, just when you're on the mountain block, if you haven't got a schooling whip, like you often wouldn't, we train them with the schooling whip, train them to the click, train them to sort of make it a habit. But if you didn't have a schooling whip and you just needed to actually like back up what you meant, sort of down the line when they already know what they're doing, but may just be being lazy or like not necessarily responding or not quite understanding the question, I feel like this area is the easiest area to reach with your hand, hence why I keep tapping that area. You kind of do this as long as you need to do this. I may move on today just to see if she will go to the next step for the kind of I can't get my word out, to keep the video flowing, you know what I mean, for the purpose, that's what I'm looking at, for the purpose of filming this video. So she's just moving away. I just want to make sure I stay in the space until she stops, because I don't want to like step away from the question when she's not answering it right, if that makes sense. And my current question, or what I'm currently wanting her to do, is literally nothing. So I will keep doing what I'm doing until she does nothing, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm looking at Tim. Does that make sense? He says that makes sense. Cool. Right, I can't remember what side I did last, so I'm going to start on this side. Good girl. Little taps. Tippy taps. Good girl, not rewarding that. Not rewarding that. Probably could reward that. Good girl. You're a good girl. Right, let's have a go on a mountain block. Why not? Okay, so I did just try moving to the mountain block, and she's not quite ready. I think she needs to be moving off the pressure quicker. Doesn't help that she's feeling all dopey this evening, but I need to do this step a few more times. They all are so different. I mean, she is just a baby. This is all new from the off, so it is a bigger question. But yeah, I moved too quick, which is fine because it's easy. You just go back a step. She's not offended. I'm not offended. We're just not ready, are we, baby girl? But if you don't ask the question, you don't know the answer. So she might have done it, and then I'd have been like, cool. Easy peasy, happy days. Right, baby girl. Good girl. Good girl. I'm going to talk less and do more and just see if we can speed this process up a little bit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Yeah. Tapping you. Good girl. Very clever. I do feel like she is ready. I feel like maybe I just moved on too quickly because I had the camera on me. I feel like she understands now. Well, she's certainly starting to understand to move away from the tap. Got dogs having zoomies down here. Zoomies. You're playing zoomies? Are you? Right, let's try again because I feel like you are there, Nels. Little tippy tips. Little tippy taps. Come on, baby girl. Oh, sweetheart, you're okay. Good girl, bum over. Bum over. Oh, horse is whinnying next door. Come on, Bubba, you got it. Oh, no. Oh, I felt like that was close. Oh, I probably stopped tapping too soon then. She was close. You're in a good position here, babe. She's like half asleep in the front end. Big sigh. I'm thinking about it. Oh, no, don't be rude in the front end, sweetheart. Bum over, babes. She's been the most stubborn one I've ever had. Of course she is. She's the only one I've ever filmed. Good girl. Good girl. Hopefully. Big release. Whether that clicked or not, I do not know. Okay, so I'm just going to jump to a little voiceover because I was so unsure when editing this whether to cut this down so it's not so boring or whether to leave it in to keep it real, and I've opted with keep it real, just to show that it can take as long as it takes, and so long as the horse isn't getting stressed. Personally, I feel it's just better to persevere, keep asking the question until they give you the right answer, and then I say you can reward it by releasing that pressure and hope that it clicks. Okay, sweetheart. Good girl. You just got to do one thing, which is just step this way, Sweet Pea. Good girl. Yeah. Good girl. Alright, sweetheart. Good girl. You did it. Took him a hot minute, but you did it. Gonna put 2 and 2 together and make 4 now. Yeah? Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. It's a nice scratchies because you did it. You good girl. You good girl. Oh, good girl. Yeah, hello. Hello. Dirty feet. We'll try again. Good girl, Sweet Pea. Good girl. Alright, Sweet Pea, let's have another go, shall we? Come a little bit closer. Had a girl. And go bum over. Bum over. And try stop her going forwards with my left hand. Good girl, that'll do. That'll do. No. Focus on me a teeny bit. Good girl. Good girl. Let me try again. Good girl. No. Good girl. Lots of release of pressure. No. Focus on me a tiny bit. Lots of release of pressure when she does the right thing anyway. You want to make it really obvious that you're asking a question and you're no longer asking the question. I mean, her attention span is about this long because she's so young. But I say, we're not, there's no pressure, we're just playing. She's super chill, which is ideal, and it's just quite a good way of getting your hands all over them. I think if they get stressed, you have to take it back a step and go back to a question that they know the answer to. She's not stressed. I do feel she's a little bit switched off. That's probably the only anything I would say. But we're working with it. Good girl. Good girl. Lots of release of pressure. And then once they start to answer the question in that little way, and they're really comfortable with it and they start answering really quickly, that's when you'd be like, cool, now again. So I feel like certainly initially she's still trying to, well, she doesn't really seem to be that focused on me, but she's still very much in the process of just piecing together the fact that she needs to move away from the taps. So she's not ready yet. If I just kept asking for more, I mean, I appreciate she's not moving exactly where I want her to, but if I just kept asking for more steps, then I'm not making it clear that she's answering my question with the right answer. Nails. So yeah, that's why I say I'm just stopping straight away at the moment, because she's not ready yet for me. She doesn't understand enough yet for me to ask for more, if that makes sense. So we'll try again. Good girl. Nelly bells. Good girl. So even though I actually do think she seems a bit stretched up, like bored and a bit switched off in the front end, she is piecing it together quite quickly. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, guys. I don't know. I'm no horse psychologist. This is just going off like what I've done with my others, and what I think is the way to do, or at least how it's kind of like worked for me in the past. Good girl. Good girl. Once they start, like now, she's getting the idea. She's getting it quite quickly. You've probably noticed as well that I have just moved to the left side. It's the more important side for me because that's the side I get on from. But also, I just, until she's kind of got the idea a little bit now with this side, And for the purpose of filming this video, I'm not doing the other side yet, but I will, and I always do, because I do think it's important that they learn to sidle up both ways, because you never know when you might need it. But so eventually I won't have a whip, and once they start to understand a little bit more, I'll start to incorporate the word, which might be bum over or bum bum or just clicks, so that when I haven't got the whip, they still understand what I mean. So, good girl. Good girl. Little reward. I'm going to go back to asking quite quickly because it was a very little offer that she gave me. Good girl. Answer her question. No, Bubby, stop. She's so bored. Good girl. Bum over. Bum over. Good girl, Belly Bean. She's going to be, see where my mic is, so easy to back, I think, this one, because she's so comfortable with you all over her body. There isn't a part of this horse's body that she's not comfortable. Hello, good girl, with you touching. You know how like some can be super sharp with their back legs or their back or their bum or even like their sides. Good girl. I know I'm tapping you where I've been tapping you. I do apologise. Okay, I think she's getting the idea. Let's just check. So I like to sort of walk away, reset, because obviously when you come to mount them in the future, this is how you'll be approaching the mountain block. And I said the dream is they learn, good girl, to just do it. Oh, Timmy liked that one. Even Tim was impressed. That's saying something. And just to prove it's not a fluke, once they get the idea, they do get the idea. And I just think the most important thing when you're teaching them anything, good girl, is like a really obvious reward. Oh, Tim's impressed. Thanks, babes. But yeah, hopefully that shows. I don't know if there's much point even teaching the other side in now. It's going to be exactly the same, and it might be the case that you have to go right back to where we started on this side. So it could be 5 minutes of tapping until they give you that side step. Like you really do have to teach each side of the horse's brain and each eye everything on each side, I think, if that makes sense. I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'm probably going to leave it there, because I feel like for her attention span, her age, and how quickly she's kind of got to a stage that I'm happy with. And then I probably will do it tomorrow and the next day and the next day, just when I bring her in for her feed, because why not? That's how they learn. Good girl. Good girl. I'm going to ask one more time. Good girl. Good girl. That was lovely. And then we just hop on, do we, Nels? Just hop on. I cannot wait to sit on you. But yeah. Probably going to leave that here, guys. You've had a little update on all the horses. You've seen Nellie Bells. You've seen a little bit of me working with her. Let me know if you enjoyed this. And so just also really, really quickly before I completely sign off, you might have seen there she tried to walk off twice, and I just put her back because even though I am talking to you guys, it is like she is still learning, and I just think it's like I said before, you just have to be black and white. You can't be grey. So by me letting her walk away is being grey in future when this is me trying to get on her and I haven't been quite black and white from the start. It's fine because you can always go back and reteach, but then you have to go back and reteach. Whereas if you just from the start, I'm like, no, when I'm stood on the block, you stand with me in a position where I can get on with you, preferably. I mean, I literally am doing this so that I can teach her to get on in future. I'm not doing it for tricks or anything. So there might be some people out there who are like, no, that's not the right way to do it, because then when you go to ask her to do X, Y, and Z, she doesn't understand. But for me, this is what works for me. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully this is quite a short video. And yeah, let me know if you want to see more of the groundworky bits that I do with all my horses. But Nell's probably in particular because she's the only one, or the main one, doing groundwork at the moment. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please, if you do comment, say nice things, and subscribe and like. Bye bye.